I'm Anthony Jones, and this is the Always Elevating Podcast. Who would win one-on-one, Paul George or Jason Tatum?
Yeah. This is kind of tough a little bit. I want to say.
Who's better overall, Jalen Brunson or Kyrie Irving?
This season, Jalen Brunson.
Ooh, we're gonna have some controversy. What's going on, everybody? I'm Anthony Jones. I go by AJ. I'm a licensed realtor in the state of Michigan, so make sure you contact me for all your real estate needs, residential and commercial. This is presented to you by my nonprofit, AJ's Automatic Jumper Foundation. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're going to have a lot of young, talented athletes on the show. This is the third episode of Always Elevating, and I got one of the top players in Michigan. Last season, he averaged 24 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. He hit the 1,000 points mark in high school. He was all EIBC. He's a great shooter, defender, and facilitator. One of my favorite players to watch out of King High School. We got Lewless in the building. What's going on, bro?
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So before we get started, I like to give a little gift, for all my guests, just appreciation of coming on the show. So I noticed that you like to wear hats. So I got this for you.
Oh, for sure. This is getting used for sure. I appreciate you. This is getting
that
used
was actually
for sure.
left over from the All-Star.
Oh, for real? Yeah, that's getting used for sure. I ain't gonna lie.
So we're going to get into it, man. We got a lot to discuss. I want to start with the first time that we met. I don't know if you remember, but we met, we was at King, we was talking.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And, just the conversation that we had, I knew that, whoever raised you the right way, just by the conversation. I go to a lot of the games and a lot of kids, they cursing, they talking crazy, they fighting, they doing all of this stuff. And just the conversation I had with you, I could tell, like, he was brought up the right way. So talk to me about your childhood, where you grew up at and who raised you.
Who raised me? My mom and my dad. Mm-hmm. I got one sister, so it's a family of 4.
Okay.
We moved around a lot. I was born in Lansing.
Oh, okay.
We moved, I've lived in, the West Coast in Seattle. I've lived in New York, but really Detroit is home. My dad's from Michigan, and most of my family, lives in Michigan. So I went to a bunch of different schools. But yeah, really me and my dad always been close. Most people that know me know my dad. He's at every game. He, easy to spot in the first row, red hair. But that's my guy. He's, been on me since I was young. So now he doesn't have to be on me as much.
Right.
And same with my mom. So they definitely tried to, raise me the right way. Make sure I was always out of trouble and stuff like that. I feel like I still am like a good kid, so. Yeah.
So you mentioned your sister. How old is your
she's
sister?
17, so she's a junior.
Oh, okay. Does she play any sports?
She plays soccer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's where the money at, the soccer. Yeah. So you mentioned your dad. I know him. I know he's very intelligent and knowledgeable about the game of basketball. Like you said, you guys are close. He's at all the games supporting you.
Yeah.
And I think that's great that you have that bond with your dad. So just talk to me about the relationship with you, with you and him. Was he training you, when you was coming up, or, was he very hard on you, with the game of basketball?
Yeah.
Talk to me about your relationship.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to play like everything. Like I played all the sports, and he was really my first coach in almost everything. He was my first basketball coach though, for sure. He put me in basketball. We used to train a little bit outside, and he just coached me in like the, rec leagues, kindergarten, first grade. He coached me mostly throughout elementary school, and then middle and high school. He wasn't my coach, but obviously he was always there. And then this last AAU season, he got to coach me, which was cool. I was already committed and stuff, so he was able to help out with our team. But yeah, he's always been there. Like since birth, me and him been attached at the hip.
Is he like very like hard on you? I know some dads are like real hard.
No, he's really hard on me. Well, he used to be really, really hard on me. Now, he still get in me, but a lot of times I don't need him as much. as I used to. But like when I was younger, it was tough for sure. It was tough. It wasn't easy.
He did the right thing.
Yeah. I was able to grow from it though, learn from it. It was for the better. It was for the best.
So let's talk about middle school. I had so much fun when I was in middle school playing, and with my classmates and my friends. So what middle school did you go to? And talk to me about on and off the court in middle school.
I went to a few different middle schools, but the one in Detroit, the one I was at the most was JSU.
Okay.
So that's on 6 Mile and 6 Mile Livernois, right across the street from UAD Mercy. Yeah. So I went to Catholic school. I actually didn't play for the team there. We was a real small school, so I just played AAU. There used to be some rules and coaches wouldn't want their players playing AAU and middle school at the same time. So I just played AAU. But middle school was fun. I bounced around a lot, but I met a bunch of different people. I was always real little. I didn't really grow till COVID, so going into 9th grade. But I bounced around with different AAU teams, even different schools. But I mean, it was a good experience. I was a little kid. I feel like I was pretty overlooked. I might still be now, but I feel like I was pretty overlooked then for sure. But I definitely took my lumps then. So when I got to high school, I was ready. So
talk to me about the transition from middle school to high school, because 8th grade going into 9th grade year, that's a big transition, because you're going from playing against guys that's pretty much your age, and then you playing against guys that's 4 years older than you. So talk to me about the transition from middle school going into high school, on and off the court.
Yeah, so I was real small, 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. After 8th grade at JSU, I ended up reclassing, and I went to a prep school, so I was able to play some varsity competition. Okay. It got cut short because of COVID, but I was able to play varsity competition with bigger, older guys. I grew a little bit and I got better. And then going into high school, I started on varsity day one. So it was tough. I mean, I was really inconsistent. I think most freshmen are, but it was a good experience. I mean, definitely helped me out a lot. I wouldn't choose any different way. I went somewhere where I could play, right. And it ended up being, in the Catholic League at Catholic Central. I mean, I was starting against Orchard Lake and UAD and teams like that. The top 5 teams in the state almost every night. Yeah. So it was real good for me though. I had some games where I stunk it up, and then I had some games where I go for 25 and stuff like that. So definitely, I feel like it definitely helped me grow, even going into AAU.
So I was gonna ask you that later on, but I might as well ask you now since you touched on it. Tell me about your worst, performance that you had, in high school.
I mean, I've had some pretty bad ones. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, my first high school game was against Hamtramck at Hamtramck. I was real excited. I ended up with, I think I had 4 or 6 points. I had 4 points. I was like 0 for 8 from 3. I was 1 for some 10 from the field, something crazy like that. Yeah. And then the next game we played UAD, I had 15, which for a freshman I feel like was pretty good. Yeah. But I've had some pretty bad, especially as a freshman. Actually, no, my worst one was against Brother Rice. We played Brother Rice.
When you was a freshman?
Yeah, on a Saturday. We lost by 40. I had 2 points, probably 100 turnovers. It was terrible. And then we played them 4 days later, and I had 25. So
that shows a lot. If you can
I was just
real.
I was real inconsistent, but definitely that Brother Rice game. That was tough, and it was a rival, so that was tough.
Okay, so you mentioned Catholic Central. You got a unique situation. As far as what happened to you in your high school career. So, you started your first 2 years in Catholic Central, freshman, sophomore year. You decided to transfer your junior year to King. Had an amazing season at King your junior year. Then you decide to go prep in Kansas, right?
Yeah.
And then before you played a game there, you decided to finish out at King. You played 2 games your senior year, and then you decided to go prep in Seattle.
Yeah.
Now, it's a lot of layers to this, so let's just take it step by step. Why did you decide to go to Catholic Central, straight out of middle school?
It was really the best fit for me. The coach had been kind of on me for a while, Coach Sanawi. Even though I transferred away, that's still my guy. I keep in touch with him. I don't have nothing bad to say about him. Right. But, I was able to start day one, which was cool. I'd rather do that than go, play JV. There's nothing wrong with that, but when I had the opportunity to do something better, I did. Yeah. So, choosing Catholic Central, it was a tough, I feel like it was tough you know, it wasn't really traditional at that time. Like everybody, I lived on 7 Mile. I lived right by UAD, so everybody would go to UAD. UAD was, you know, trying to get me to go there, or Orchard Lake, or they go to DeLaSalle. But you know, it was different going to Catholic Central, and yeah, that's why I chose.
So if you didn't go to CC, where do you think you would have ended up going to UAD since it was just convenient?
I mean, possibly, probably UAD, maybe even King. I was thinking about King a little bit, but yeah, I say UAD.
Okay.
Probably.
So let's now just moving along further. You know, you had your first 2 years at CC, and then you decided to transfer to King, which is, you know, one of the top PSL schools. So talk to me, what led into that decision of transferring, going to King?
You know, ultimately, I was gonna leave CC. It wasn't nothing bad. It was so far from my house, and there's some other stuff like that. But I was, you know, my parents had brought up going prep, but I really didn't want to leave home, to be honest. So I'm like, you know, I think I want to stay here. I want to go to a bigger school. I was probably gonna go to a public school. So, you know, I feel like King was really the best fit. Chauncey had just won Mr. Basketball, and that's something I had wanted to do. So I could look at that kind of like the blueprint, and that's something I had wanted to do. So, you know, I went over, was able to get in touch with them, and yeah.
So did you reach out to King?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At the time, they had an assistant, JT, Janoris Jackson.
Yeah.
That's like, I've been on him since like, he's been on coach since like 7th grade. That's what I played AU for too. So it was easy through that. And then he wasn't there my junior year, but it was all good. Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, you had a great junior season. We're going to talk about that later. You had a great junior season at King. Then you decided to leave King, go prep in Kansas. But you didn't play there, you came back. So talk to me about why you decided to leave King and then go to prep in Kansas.
Yeah, I was going to Sunrise Christian in NIBC, which is like the nation's best conference.
Right.
It was a really good opportunity. You know, I was excited to go. But for, you know, some reasons it just didn't work out. I just wasn't able to go. So ended up, you know, coming back to King, but that wasn't by any means like a second choice. You know, I was excited to come back to King.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely did want to go to Sunrise. But, you know, it just didn't work out. So, you know, coming back to King, it wasn't like nothing bad or nothing like that.
You wanted to face the you know, tough competition.
Yeah, I was looking forward to playing the national schedule. I was already committed, but I was, you know, it's better. It was better competition. I was going to be playing with better guys, like, you know, 4 and 5 stars. And I was also pretty, like, nationally, I was pretty unknown. Not pretty unknown, I was really unknown. So I would have been able to go out there and prove myself, which I was looking forward to. So
it makes sense that you wanted to come back to King and finish up there. You know, you come back, you play, what, 2 games?
Yeah, I played 4. So I played against who I played against. I played
North Farmington was
Waverly was the first game in North Farmington. We played Persian and Henry Ford.
Okay, so you come back to King, you play 4 games, and after 4 games, you decide to go prep in Seattle.
Yeah.
So talk to me about, what can you tell me about, you know, the decision, what happened? I know it was some stuff with Coach Ward and things like that, but what can you tell me about why you decided, let me just leave and go prep?
Yeah, it was a decision made by me and my family. I felt it was the best opportunity. I was still able to play some of the nation's best competition. You know, it was the 2nd or 3rd best league in the country. You know, we played teams like Utah Prep. You know, you see AJ DeBansta, the #1 players going there.
Yeah.
They played Prolific Prep. You know, they had top 5 team in the country. So it was just a decision on what was best for me getting ready to college. So the team was in Seattle. I stayed enrolled at King the whole time. I still go to King. I'm graduating on the 4th, so I think that's like next week.
Right.
Or in a week and a day. But yeah, it was just something which I felt like was best for me in my development.
Okay, so let's move forward to 2023, I believe. You guys playing against Cass in the city championship game at Wayne State.
Yeah.
I was there, had my King jacket on and everything, rooting for you guys. You know, you up 15 with like 5 minutes to go.
15 with 5,
And I'm like, I'm sitting by like Cass people and they just, they like, oh my God. And I'm watching the game and I'm like, you know, you had a great game. And Cass, ultimately, they just came back in the last 5 minutes. It goes to overtime. They eventually win. Talk to me about the game overall and how you think it went from your.
Man, we had a game plan. And man, it was going well. Obviously, I mean, we was up. they, you know, a lot of their players were just off.
Yeah.
Like they just wasn't hitting shots and all that. And then it went to a point where we had a couple of breakdowns, and then after that, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
Right.
I got a little hurt in the game, but I stayed in. Our big got hurt and wasn't able to play. He was having something wrong with his back. And then you know, their guys just got hot. So, you know, it happens. Obviously, I wanted that one bad, but yeah, I mean,
it was crazy because I was there. I was like, because they were just making this massive run, and I'm like, why? I'm like, call a timeout. I was trying to yell, like, Coach Board, call a timeout, stop the bleeding, get you a blow. I know you was tired, and you mentioned that you had got hurt, and I was talking to Coach Carr from River Rouge, and he was saying like, once you got hurt, he was like, everything changed. I think you got like kneed or something like that.
Yeah, I had got
by CJ.
Man, they has. No, it was, I forget his name. It was a football player though. I know that. And I had broke the press and he came up behind me. He dang near tackled me. I was like, man. And I was having trouble with my wrist, and like I fell on it wrong, and it just would like shoot up numb. So it was like my arm was numb. So I couldn't really feel it. It was my right arm too, so I couldn't really feel it. But
yeah, like the Anthony Davis effect that happened to you.
Man, everything that could have went wrong. But yeah.
That was a tough loss. So what did Coach Ward say after that game? Because I think they were like undefeated at that time.
Yeah, they were undefeated.
What did he say like in the locker room?
I mean, it was a city championship, so that wasn't the end of our season.
Right.
So, you know, we just gotta, you know, lick our wounds and keep going.
Regroup.
We was able to see him again. I mean, we lost again, but we was able to see him again. You know, and that's really what we wanted. And we had to focus on Operation Friendship.
Yeah.
You know, we played UD next game at Callahan Hall.
Yeah. So talking about, you said that you played them again, King versus Cavs. You know, I went to King. I used to love the King versus Cavs rivalry. I mean, it's just so
the best.
intense.
It's probably the best in the state.
It's the best. So talk to me about that rivalry.
I've been in, so when I was at CC, our big rival was Brother Rice.
Right.
But King and Cash is different.
Yeah.
You know, you get bragging rights over the whole city.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, football, basketball, anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, it's always going to be a sellout. It's always going to be talking. You know, it's going to be a little extra physical.
Yeah.
It's never going to be a blowout. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
In the districts, we was down 20 something, like 25.
That was at
in the
home,
fourth
right?
quarter. No, it was at Cass.
At Cass.
My junior year, we was down like 25. Ended up coming back. I had like 19 or 20 in the fourth quarter. We came back. We got to like 7. And losing by like 12. But it was never going to be a blowout. It's always going to be a close game.
Yeah, I love those type of games.
Yeah.
Moving back toward CC, you know, I know TJ, you know, we'll talk about him later. He's one of your good friends, TJ Nadu. Great player. He's one of your friends, and then they just had Torrey Jackson. He's a great coach. You know, I watched him at, you know, Grand Blanc and at CC, how he's turned it around. Do you think about, like, do you go back in your mind and think about, like, what could have been if you would have stayed there?
Yeah, all the time. Like, I really like CC as a school. Like, it's one of the most, I'm telling you, like, it's one of the most fun schools. I mean, a lot of times when I bring it up to people, you know, the first thing they say is, you know, it's all boys. I don't know if I could do it, man. It's so fun. Like, the school spirit, it's really a brotherhood. So, I mean, I miss it, but at the same time, I feel like the path I chose was, you know, best for me. You know, I feel like, you know, I'm going to college in the summer with the opportunity to play and do well. So I feel like I set myself up for that. Yeah.
So going back to your junior season, that's the year that you had really resonated with me, because I saw me and you as far as, like, I had the same identical thing that happened to me when I was overseas, my MVP year. I was leading the team. You know, you was getting double and triple team every game.
Yeah.
It was full court press every game. If you had a bad game, you're going to lose for sure. You had to facilitate. You had to score at a high level. You defended. I mean, do you think back to that year and just say, like, what you did was so amazing, or is it just like you were just out there hooping?
I mean, I was just out there hooping. I mean, I feel like our team was real underrated.
Right.
But we was very unexperienced. Even though we was an older team, juniors, seniors, most of them guys didn't get to play, you know, the year before. So, I mean, it definitely wasn't on me. You know, I had some really good teammates that was underrated, and especially, you know, later in the season, mid-season, they had just hit their stride, which made it a lot easier. But I mean, that year was big for me. It got my state, you know, in the state I got ranked higher.
Right.
Everybody kind of, especially being in the city, having that type of season, everybody kind of knew who I was. You know, I got like a lot more, I say like popularity, I guess.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got looked at like I was really, you know, one of them
Like you was
ones.
one of them guys.
Yeah.
So now I think I asked you this before, like a while ago. Did you make All City that year?
No. No.
I don't think you made All City.
It was first team All City. I didn't make that. I didn't really get no awards.
I think that's crazy that you didn't make.
That's something totally different. But it was just.
Why? Why do you think that is that you didn't make? I mean, that's kind of crazy.
I mean, you know, I don't know. I ain't gonna say nothing.
So going back into that season, I mean, like I know you say that, you know, your teammates were good and you wasn't the only one, but you were the head front of it. You know, you were the head of the snake. Did you feel, and you know that if you didn't play well, you was gonna lose. You know, you couldn't have like a 6-point game, a bad game and you still win.
Yeah.
So did you feel pressure like going into the game, especially the big games? Like I gotta perform because if I don't, we definitely gonna lose.
Nah.
You didn't feel no pressure?
No, that's like what I live for. Like that feeling, everybody in the stands. And I knew they was looking at me. Like that's the feeling I really like. It's a rush.
Yeah.
So that's why my biggest games, like my biggest games was always the biggest games.
Right.
Like if we win by 40, I have like 11 or 12 points. But you know, it's a 10-point game. I'm having 20 to 25 to 30.
Yeah. Because I know against, I think it was a district. I don't know if it was a semifinal your junior year. You played against. I forgot. It was some
Forcing.
team.
And
they like boxed and ones you the whole.
So they had a boxing, and it's my guy Mo from Forest, and he was talking about it. They boxed. They had like 3, and then they would have one guy follow me all around.
Yeah.
And then when I get the ball, they would double, or like I beat the first guy and I have another guy there. I never seen nothing like it. It was crazy. But I think I had like 8 points. I had 8, but I took like 5 shots. Probably I couldn't get the ball. It was crazy.
I know.
And it was a close game for a while, and then we broke it open at the end. We wanted to run at the end, but yeah, I was
impressed by that game because you wasn't. I think you forced maybe one shot. If it was me, I would have been trying to. Like,
it was in the first half. I forced a shot probably, but I mean at that point it was a state tournament, so I didn't care how many points. I could have had zeros, and if we was winning, I'm cool with it. But if we lose, and then I'm gonna try to take it to my home, like the Cavs game, the next game. You know, we was losing, and I wasn't gonna just lay down. You know, if I go down, I'm gonna fight.
That shows like high IQ, you know, when someone, you know, you getting defended like that and you don't care, you just want to win. So that was great. So Kyrie Irving wears number 11, so do you. The reason he wears it is just so many different meanings. I don't know if you know, but
yeah, he got like I don't got that many meanings.
It's like when he played at Duke, he played 11 games.
Yeah,
you know, March.
It's 11 in everything he do.
Yeah, it's like 11 in everything. March 1st, I think he had like his 11,000 point, or March 11th, he had his 11,000 point, and it was something. He was born at 1:11 p.m. It was crazy. So do you have like a deeper meaning by why you wear number 11?
Really, it's just a point guard number. So I mean, my dad, you know, he raised me on the bad boy. So Isaiah Thomas, that's the real OG number 11. I mean, I watch a lot of Trae Young now. I'll be wearing 2 next year. Unfortunately, you know, 11 was taken, but I'll be wearing 2 at University of San Diego. But yeah, I mean, really Isaiah Thomas, the one. You know, it's a couple other guards I used to watch at Michigan State. You know, from the city that wore 11. That was like really my idols I looked up to, like Keith Applin and some other guys. So yeah. Okay,
I want to talk about like pre-game rituals and superstitions. Do you have anything that you know, any superstitions, any pre-game rituals? And also I want to talk about, you know, you come out now, you know, we have the handshakes now. We didn't have that when I played, so you coming out, you doing the
the Karate Kid,
Karate Kid. Talk to me about that, and you know, how did that come?
My pre-game rituals. I'm real loose. Like I've had times where I was younger, like especially my freshman year, I try to lock in all day. Like I'm not talking to nobody, and it just ended bad. Like I'm exerting too much energy trying to be quiet. So you know, I gotta act like it's a regular day. You know, I go to my classes. You know, joke around my friends. You know, in the locker room. You know, I'll be on my phone on the bus. I'll be talking, chopping it up. And then there's a certain point where it's like, all right, now I gotta get focused. But yeah, I try to keep it loose. I'm not too super serious on game days. We had a rule at King, you know, you couldn't talk on a bus, so I just listened to my music. But yeah, my handshake, where did that come from? That came from football. when I was at King, you know, the football team, we had won a state championship. So it was a receiver at Alabama that used to do the crane. And then the King football players used to do it. Like it was a receiver I seen do it with the quarterback, Dante Moore. That was the handshake. So I seen it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of sweet. So I took it and went to the and you know, took it to basketball, and then everybody kind of see me do it. And I seen a bunch of other people do it later in the year, but I say I started it, you know, to bring it to basketball.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
So I feel like well, of course you're not underrated. You know, you rated high. People know that you can play and things like that. But I feel like you kind of, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you may be like underappreciated. I think I said it before. Do you sense or feel that, or what I'm thinking is just crazy?
I mean, at times, yeah. I mean, there's definitely reasons to it. I wasn't in the state basically my whole last year. You know, so it's like it's kind of easy for people to forget or not, you know, realize. So, I mean, yeah, at times, but, you know, I'm not super worried about that. Yeah. I know, you know, in college, I'll hopefully, you know, get the accolades and stuff I deserve.
Right. So let's talk about a few players that you're close with. We mentioned TJ, you know, at CC. He's a good friend of yours. Talk to me about your relationship with him.
Yeah, TJ, you know, we was both freshmen. We both started on varsity our freshman year for most of the year. So, I mean, that's like my guy. You know, we've known each other for a while. He's just a real goofy guy, real cool guy. I mean, I still go up to CC sometimes and work out, you know, with him. You know, we was playing in the Midwest Challenge in Indiana together, and it was coached by Coach Torrey, actually. So, you know, but yeah, that's my guy. You know, I've been knowing him for a while, and it's cool to see him grow and me grow. You know, when we was freshmen, we was both little. He was pudgy. You know, he could shoot. He could always shoot, but he was pudgy. And now, you know, he going D1 and I'm going D1. Yeah. That's really what we wanted. You know, we used to have coaches come in the gym and they wouldn't offer us, and we'd be upset. You know, so now it's, you know, seeing we both got to where we wanted to. It was
hard
cool.
work paid off. So shout out to TJ. He gonna be at UAD.
Yeah, TJ gonna light it up at UAD for sure.
Yeah. So let's talk about another player, one of my favorites to watch, Keyshawn Fisher out of River Rouge. Yeah. I know that you know, close with him. I think I seen you guys at a game one time. You didn't even see me, but I was sitting up top at UAD. I seen you guys walking in. Talk to me about him. He's a great player. Talk to me about your relationship.
Yeah, Keyshawn real cool.
And when did y'all meet too?
When did we meet? Actually, I met him my sophomore year. I was playing for Bates, and there's a guy named Clarence Evans. He shoots for Athazon. He does like a bunch of I don't want to call him a cameraman because he's a lot more than a cameraman.
He did one of my events.
Yeah. He's real good with real good with the camera. He brought Keyshawn to a workout, and this before anybody knew who Keyshawn was. Keyshawn had to sit out his sophomore year because he got called on because he transferred to Rouge. But yeah, I met him then, and we wasn't close to nothing then and there. My junior year, we were supposed to play AU together. Me, him, and Warren was like three amigos. So we'd go to games together and all that stuff. And then we just got cool. I mean, Keyshawn a real cool guy, real funny. Yeah, we went to games together. We'd be hanging out sometimes. Yeah, and that's my guy for sure.
So let's talk about a guy, another great player that you face at Cass, Darius Acuff. They call him Cheeks. Number one, I think he's the number one rated player in the class of 2025 PG.
Yeah.
You know, you had battles with him. I know that you said that when we first met, you said you wanted to play them against, I think that was the city championship game, I believe, but you wanted to play against him. So talk to me about your battles with him and relationship if you have one with him.
Yeah, he's a real cool guy. I've known him, I think it was like 6th, 7th grade, probably like 7th or 8th grade, that's when I met him. We wasn't real close then, and then my freshman year I was playing with the family, 15U on UIBL, and he was on our team. Okay. So he played up with us. So yeah, that we started really like getting to know each other then. And then obviously when I transferred to King, we would play each other. We would play him all the time. But yeah, I like to see, you know, he was putting in the work in the city, and then went to IMG and kind of actually played AU and then kind of took off. Yeah. Now he's number one ranked point guard.
Did you see that coming? Like from you like, seen him back then to see what he is now?
I would say it's crazy because he wasn't even ranked before, but I'm not gonna say it's crazy because I think he is that good. Like that's like, and I like to see, especially people I know, people from the city and stuff like that. I like to see them people win.
Grow
so it's cool. It's cool to see that. Yeah.
Right. So one thing that I hate about high school, you know, I go to a lot of the games and a lot of people, you know, they talk about, where I talk about is no shot clock. in high school. You know, I like to see the IQ, you know, recognizing the time score, all of that stuff. There's no shot clock. What are your thoughts on, you know, no shot clock in Michigan?
I think they need one. Michigan's real behind.
Yeah.
I mean, we go out in AAU, and like I would used to get shot clocks called on me for the first couple games of a tournament, just because
really?
I just
'Cause you're
get
not
caught
used to
slipping,
it,
you know.
yeah.
And then you go to college, stuff like that. So it speeds up the game. You know, a lot of teams like to play, you know, real slow, which is just not
Stall ball.
not transferable to the next level and doesn't help kids at all. So I feel like a shot clock would actually kind of force some coaches to get their kids actually ready for college instead of just trying to win, which obviously you want to win, but
Right.
you know, if you're not getting your kids ready, there's no point.
So I was at a game, and one of the referees, he actually threw out, I think it was Warren De La Salle, he threw out one of the fans because the fans was complaining about his officiating. He threw him out. The game stopped for like 5 minutes. We were just waiting. And then the guy was handicapped too, so it just took forever. It was crazy. But talk to me about, you know, a lot of people, coaches, parents, fans, players, everybody, they complaining about the high school officiating. So talk to me, what are your thoughts on the referees?
I mean, I'm cool with a lot of them, so I ain't really gonna say too much.
Well, they good, like
But-
Quincy Jones, like all of them.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hit or miss. I mean, obviously there's bad refs and good refs that make bad calls, and good refs and bad refs that can make good calls. So I mean, it really just depends. I try not to worry too much about it. Sometimes it gets kind of bad, but I mean, the refs out there, they be trying their best. In my opinion, they just go out there try their best. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. We not in the league yet, so, you know.
Okay, talk to me about the difference between AAU and high school. You know, it's a drastic difference between the two. So just talk to me about the differences.
Yeah, I mean, AAU, especially my last season, I mean, I'm playing 3 games a day or 2 games a day, playing basically high school all-star teams. That's how it was. I mean, we was playing Adidas. We was on Adidas Gold, and then we won our way up to 3SSB. So, I mean, we was playing like D1 guys in every game, opposed to high school, or maybe you got one, or maybe you got a couple D2 kids, you know, we playing the best of the best. AAU is a lot more free. It's less structured. High school, you know, you practice every day. AAU, we was practicing maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, twice a week maybe. And a lot of it was just skill work. So yeah, I mean, traveling around, playing different teams, that's a real good experience, especially in high school. I mean, I was doing it, since I was like 2nd grade.
Right.
Yeah, I was young, traveling around everywhere. I mean, in elementary school, I'd play in Texas, Florida, California, like all them places, going to nationals, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a good experience. I think, you know, getting to, you know, measure yourself up against other people in the country that think they're the best. You know, they're the best where they're from, you're the best where you're from. Right. So it's cool, but yeah, I mean, AAU, I loved AAU. It was cool.
Okay. So describe your game to me, like just act like I'm a total stranger, you know. How would you describe your game?
I mean, obviously a lot of people know I'm a really good shooter. I got a little bit of range off the dribble and catch and shoot. But I feel like I can really facilitate, you know, be a true point guard. It's a lot of stuff I'm working on, but I feel like I'm very sound fundamentally. You know, a lot of people will say I use a jump stop a lot, you know, so I'm in control.
Yeah.
You know, I'm never too up and never too down. Yeah. You know, I feel like I'm just a real point guard. So
that's good. Now you basically were like ineligible for the Mr. Basketball Award because, you know, you left and things like that. But let's just say hypothetically, if you would have stayed at King, you know, because you had good years at CC, then you had an amazing year at King, and you would have had a great year your senior year at King. You obviously, in my opinion, you would have been a finalist, you know, top 5. Do you think, now Darrell Brooks, he won the he won the award. Do you think that you could have won it if you would have stayed at King?
I mean, that's a possibility, but I mean, Fat won it, and he that's my guy too. Like he's real cool, so you know, I think he definitely deserved it. I feel like, but you know, sometimes it's not always. You know, sometimes it's a lot of politics and stuff, and you know, you never really know. But you know, I feel like I would have been a finalist. I know I would have been the only guy in the Detroit area, so that might have, you know, helped me out a little bit. But I mean, Fat won it, and that's that's who should have won it, in my opinion. You know, a lot of people will say other people and stuff like that, but you know, he definitely deserved it, in my opinion.
He had a great.
Yeah, he's going to Michigan. He's been, you know, state champs, gone to the Final Four a couple times. So yeah, I mean, I think that's
the right decision.
That's appropriate.
He's definitely a great player. So let's talk about the All-Star events. You was a part of my event. You couldn't, unfortunately.
Yeah, my back
in
was,
No, you good. And then the Dreams to Reality. You played in that. You played in, you know, you participated in the 3-point contest. You actually went up against TJ in the final of that.
So,
just talk to me about and then you did the Midwest. Talk to me about all of these. You know, the 2 All-Star events and then that Midwest. How did you?
Yeah, so it was really cool. I know. The 2 events I was at was pretty big, and they didn't even have them last year. So it was like it was the first year for both. But yeah, it was really exciting just to be a part of it. Even though I didn't play in yours, you know, just being on the bench, feeling the energy was real cool. The Dream to Reality, that was pretty cool. You know, 3-point contest.
Was that your first time that you ever like shot off the racks like that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was so tired. Like my shoulders was dead. Yeah.
It's different.
It was cool. And then the Midwest Challenge was a little different. That was like a real game. Like everybody's trying to put on for their state, so everybody was playing really hard. I had a good game. I played it against Team Indiana the first game. We lost by 8.
Don't say you had a good game because you averaged like over 30. So.
Yeah, I had 34 the first game, and I actually sprained my ankle that game, but I had kept going.
Okay.
And then so I had 34. They was good. They had a McDonald's All-American. They had a lot of D1 guys, but we did too. I mean, our team was really good.
Yeah.
It wasn't just me. I mean, TJ Nadeau played really well. Right. Tyler Spratt played really well, and then we had a bunch of other guys that did good and did solid. So yeah, that one was a little different. Like we actually practiced for that 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
And I know the other teams was practicing too. So
that
good.
Was like a real that's bump. A good exposure to.
Oh yeah, it was cool to see. I mean, it was a good event. They put us in hotels and got us food and all that. So yeah, it was real fun.
That's cool. So talk to me about like from the time that you started high school until now, because you started as a boy, now you're a young man.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your biggest improvement. For me, I know it was my confidence. Once I got a little older, I got more confident in my game, just took off. So what do you think your biggest improvement was from the time you started until now?
I wouldn't say confidence, but it's kind of like that. I feel like now I kind of got a switch where I can, at certain times I can kind of try to take over and, get in that mode.
Turn it on.
Where maybe at my freshman year I couldn't really do it. I mean, I was only a freshman, but I'm a lot more consistent now. I mean, my junior year, obviously every year you have games that's not your best.
Right.
But my junior year, I mean, especially in the big games, every game it was 20, 25, 30, 25, 22, where my freshman year would be like, 20, 15, 2, 20, 10, 5, so I'm a lot more consistent, I say that. So consistently being able to show up for my team, I feel like is the most important thing.
That's good. That's really good. Consistency. All the grace is consistent. You see what Luka doing. We're going to get into that. Talk to me about, the best coach I ever had was Benny White at King, and he told me like grades and working hard was like almost at the same level. That's something that always stuck with me. He let me know how important working hard is. So what's the best piece of advice that you got? It could be Coach Ward, your dad, whoever. The best piece of advice that a coach told you that sticks with you.
So I mean, I'd say my best coach was my dad. He said, he told me this, but he tells everybody. He always say, "Go where they love you." So that means you got to go where they really want it. So where you're really wanted. So I mean, with high school decisions, my college decision, I feel like I've always chose places that have really wanted Chaz Lewis and really, maybe some places just need a guard, but these places I've tried to go to and been a part of really wanted me. Because they liked my game, so
that's some great advice. I want to talk about rankings. It's so many different rankings. I know that I think Prep Hoops had you number 1. Some others may not have you number 1. But just talk to me about rankings. Do they matter to you? What if you were just totally disrespected? They had you like 15th in the class of 2024.
Yeah.
Like, how do you look at or view rankings?
I mean, since my freshman year, my freshman sophomore year I was 2. and then my junior and senior year I was more 1. I've been kind of 1 and 2. Some people, 3. I've been in the top 5 for sure the whole time, but 1 and 2 mostly. Rankings, I mean, like I appreciate them. People are really trying their best to put out stuff. I really was trying to get more focused on the national rankings. That's one thing I didn't do that I wish I did. But that's not all on the player. I feel like it's a lot of exposure and stuff like that. Like my senior year, I could have, I didn't play EYBL or I didn't play 3SSB the whole time. I decided to play independent because that's where I got my offer from. My offers from my junior year, like going into my junior year, and I committed, so I was gonna stay with the same team. That's who I wanted to finish it with because that's really who I started with. So, yeah, I mean, rankings is cool. I'm not gonna say they're like useless, but I'm not gonna say they mean everything. It really depends on the person and even the rankings. Some are totally off and some are really accurate. I feel like.
Yeah. So let's talk about social media. They didn't have it when I played. You got Instagram. A lot of the kids are on that. How do you deal with that? What if you seen some comments? You had a bad game and somebody talking about you saying you had a bad game on social media. Like how do you handle that? Because mentally you got to be mentally right. Because it can really get to you.
Yeah. I mean, going back to that city championship game, after that it was tough. It was tough. But, I mean, I never really took it too serious. People gonna say what they gotta say. And they've been saying stuff since I've been young. So it's like, I never really took it to heart. It is kind of crazy seeing, people say, certain stuff about you, but it's kind of like, man, it is what it is. It just kind of roll off your shoulder and go in through one ear out through the other.
So speaking of that, I was gonna ask you that question. I've had so many debates. I love basketball. I'm obsessed with basketball. So I'm, talking. I'm debating. I'm defending you. They saying somebody else better. I'm like Chad's better. I'm having all these. It's good, healthy debates. So the biggest like criticism that I hear people say is that you're not. They'll say you're not tough. Or you're soft or whatever. So and they say the same thing about me when I was in high school. They like he's soft or whatever. So how do you like to that? What do you say?
I mean. I guess they say that I was in the Catholic League and I came to the PSL or something like that. I don't think I'm soft. I mean, when the game on the line and the game's tough, I'm the one going to get the ball. I'm the one. I never been, if you watch the film, I never, shot away from the ball or nothing like that. The big moments is really what I'm there for.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. Like I'm not gonna be the one to punch somebody in the face or nothing like that because that's just stupid. I gotta control my emotions. But I guess different people think tough is different things. But I feel like, especially going in my junior year, a lot of people said I was soft, and I feel like I proved them wrong for the most part. Okay. I was playing. I played hard. I played with passion, but I also played smart. So yeah.
So in the NBA, if I told you got to compare your game to the closest NBA player, who would you say that you would compare your game to? Who's the closest?
I really don't know. A lot of people say Jamal Murray. I just think they say that because we're both light skinned. I mean, like literally. I mean, people usually say Steph, but I don't really think I play nothing like him. But I really don't know. I feel like there's mixes and parts of different people's games. I'm not super flashy. I mean, at times I can be, but I'm not super flashy. I'm pretty sound. But yeah, I feel like it's a couple different point guards, but I like to watch all the point guards. You can always, especially during the NBA, I could take something from them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know you're going off to college next year, but Old Lake, Orchard Lake, St. Mary, they won a championship last year in Division I. So if I had to ask you the question, who you think will win this upcoming season, Old Lake or the Field? Old Lake or any other team, which one would you go with?
I mean, right now you kind of got to go with Old Lake. I mean, if everybody returns, maybe if some people leave, you never know. But Old Lake deep. Yeah, Old Lake, they got guys on guys.
And then they getting Peyton Kemp. He gonna be playing.
Yeah, I mean, they had guys on JV that would be starting on most people varsity, literally, Yeah, so I'll probably go with Old Lake, but I mean, it's not gonna be a given. I think they're gonna have some tough competition. I mean, I know. Some teams that are gonna be pretty good next year.
Who you think can compete with them? Like if you had to pick one team that maybe could beat them, Who would you go with?
I mean, in the Catholic League, I think UAD is going to be pretty good. I mean, Leroy, one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah.
And, you know, Coach Donnelly, he's always going to have his guys ready.
Yeah.
So they might not be like as star-studded as Olake, but they gonna compete for sure.
They extremely well coached.
Yeah. And, you know, maybe some other teams that's pretty good. Who knows? But Orchard Lake pretty good. I'll say that.
So you're going off to college next year. You're going all the way to California. I told your dad I was actually born in California, so I might come out there. Yeah. So you're going to the University of San Diego.
Yeah.
Why did you pick them, and why did you sign so early? Because you signed, really early.
Yeah. So I picked them because that was the first team to be like real consistent with me. You know, I had a lot of other interests and stuff like that around home, which would have been kind of easy to choose. You know, maybe a MAC school or even a bigger school, in the area. But I mean, San Diego, they saw me play, with Detroit. At the time, it was Detroit Unified. Now it's Michigan Unified.
Right. Where was you at when you?
I was in playing in California. I was playing 17 to 17U, but I was playing like a grade up. So I was going into my junior year playing 17U, and they saw me play once, and they called. I don't know who they called. They didn't call me, but then they made a few calls, and offered me like after seeing me play once.
Wow.
So I was like, yeah, that's who I'm. I kind of knew from then, like, yeah, this is where I'm going.
So you basically followed your dad's advice. He said, go where.
Yeah.
Go
So
where you
I mean, they offered me straight off that, and they told me a bunch of stuff, and they held to their promise. So, which I feel like is kind of rare, from hearing different people say, different things. I mean, I haven't been there yet, but I mean, they, recruit, with recruitment and stuff like that, they've stuck to their word.
Yeah. So, I know the coach Steve, is it Steve
Lavin?
Yeah,
Steve Lavin.
He's definitely a great coach.
Yeah, he was the coach at UCLA, and he coached, Baron Davis and Matt Barnes and guys like that, and then he went to St. John's. Coached some NBA guys there, and then was on TV for a while. So, yeah, to have him as my coach is real.
Yeah, that's cool. A good situation. So if you didn't go there, what was another school that you maybe would have went to?
I really don't know, because I mean, if I feel like if I didn't go there, I wouldn't have committed to any other school that early. So
you would have just played out your senior year.
I would have played out my junior year, and then I would have played at AU. And then there it would have been way different. I mean, I had a couple bigger schools trying, inquiring about me in AU when I was already committed. But yeah, I feel like it would have been totally different.
Yeah. So let's talk about the transfer portal. It's good that kids, get to, have freedom and just go where they want. It's good and bad and everything. Maybe some of the high school kids may not get as much looks because, they're looking at the transfer portal. So talk to me, what's your opinions on the transfer portal?
I mean, it's pros and cons. I mean, a lot of people are able to go somewhere for a year, out of high school, maybe a mid-major. I don't really think there's a such thing as a low major, but a mid-major or low major, and be able to just go kill it or just average 10, 12 points a game and then go get a bag somewhere else. So, I mean, that's cool. It's kids, or not kids, but like some of these people are like men, but it's players being able to kind of advocate for themselves a little bit and have some type of power. And then there's downsides too. A lot of people go in and don't find anywhere. But yeah, I'm not gonna say I don't know too much about it, but I mean, it really just depends on the person.
Right, it's a case-by-case scenario.
Yeah.
So talk to me, my granny, she raised me and she was a firm believer in thinking ahead and, if basketball doesn't work out, what you're gonna do. So I wanna ask you, let's say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You're pretty much gonna be graduating college, 5, 6 years, where do you see
I mean, I'm hoping I get to play pro somewhere. Obviously, everybody wants to go to the NBA. But if not, I'll be able to, hopefully I can go play pro somewhere, make some money. I mean, there's other things I'll be interested in, but, I'm pretty confident in myself that I can go play, make money to play.
With that being said, if you wasn't playing basketball, what are you going to major in? What would you be doing if you wasn't playing basketball?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to major in business. I mean, I haven't picked yet. I still got like a year or two to pick. Okay. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to major in business. If I didn't play basketball, I really don't know what I do. I probably play some different sport, to be honest.
Okay.
Because I was always, running around, being
active.
Being active. I was in other sports too when I was younger. So
What other sports did you play?
I played baseball, soccer. What else I played? Football, flag
Which
football.
one was you better at between those three?
I mean, I used to play flag football. I was pretty good at that in football. But like with baseball, I was all right. I was just like, since a young age, it's always been basketball. So I was never really practicing. I was never training for baseball how I would train for basketball. I just showed up.
If you trained for baseball, you think you would have been?
Yeah,
really
I mean,
good?
if I trained for baseball how I trained for basketball, I think I'd be the same in baseball how I'd be in basketball.
What position?
What I play? I was never pitcher. I would play shortstop sometimes. I would play second. Yeah, I was good. I could feel. I couldn't hit because I would never. It was like the reps. I would never get my only reps was in. I didn't show up to practice all the time because I was at basketball, and then I show up to the games. So yeah.
That's funny. That's funny because I played baseball too a little bit, and I think if I would have kept playing, I would have been really good at it. Talk to me about. Let's move to the NBA. What's your favorite team and your favorite player and why?
My favorite team is the Pistons. That's tough.
Your dad ingrained that in you.
Yeah, I'm a huge Detroit sports fan.
Okay.
But yeah, it's tough right now. But my favorite player, I like Kate a lot because he plays for the Pistons, but also he's really good. I've been a Dame fan for a long time. I like Trae Young too, but I'd probably say Dame's my favorite player.
What's your top 5 NBA players? Like right now, let's assume everybody 100% healthy right now.
Oh, who I think is the best or my favorite? The best. Okay.
Top 5 best.
That's still playing or anybody in the league?
No, still playing. No, this season, like this.
Okay.
Season.
Let's see. I mean, I got LeBron. LeBron probably number 1.
Okay. You don't got to go in order because I know that might be difficult. Just name
LeBron. I mean, Jokic.
Yeah. Joker too.
Who else I got? This kind of tough a little bit.
It's tough. It's not easy.
I want to say Anthony Edwards, but he been kind of stinking it
I
up
think
this series.
I think you would have said it before the series.
He been kind of stinking it up a little bit this series.
He had a good game last week.
Yeah, but he just, I don't know.
So maybe.
I mean, probably. I mean, Giannis is probably in there.
Okay.
And then what guards? Honestly, like watching Kyrie, he almost might be in there. But probably. I mean, Luka's probably top 5.
Probably.
Luka's probably top 5. I don't watch a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a Mavs fan, but like Luka's like
you
see what he do.
That guy.
Who else? Jason Tatum might be top 5. Jason Tatum might be top 5.
There. He definitely up there.
But there's a bunch of guys. It's hard to just make one top 5.
So, who is your top 5? Let's go top 5 shooters in high school. Top 5 shooters.
In Michigan?
In Michigan, top 5 shooters. You are included if you think you top 5. Include
Okay,
yourself.
so I'll put me in there.
Okay.
For sure. Smythe from Orchard Lake. TJ.
Yeah.
From CC.
That's 3.
Who else? Man.
It's a lot
I'm
of
trying
great
to
ones.
think of. He go to Notre Dame. I think it's Will.
Oh, you talking about
Wade? I think it's Wade Robinson. I think it's.
He'll-
Let me look it up.
I think I know
Like
who
a
you're
short
talking
light
about.
skin.
I think I might have reached out to him. Is he kind of short?
Yeah. Wade Robinson.
Wade Robinson.
I played him one time. He can shoot.
Okay.
He can. Yeah, he be lining it up. And then
So one more.
who's good around? Who can really shoot around? Who's in your 3-point contest that was nice? I mean, I seen so many people get hot. Like I seen Keyshawn get hot. Warren can. Tyler Spratt.
Okay, I was
Tyler
wondering
Spratt.
if he was
And
outside.
I'll add Warren too. That's a
Honorable
6.
man. Who the honorable mention?
No comment. They all there. Yeah.
Let's go back to. I forgot. I wanted to ask you about. Dallas is playing against Minnesota right now. They are 3-0, and Boston 3-0 against Indiana. So most likely Boston gonna face Dallas in the finals. How do you see that series going? Boston gonna have a home court advantage.
I would think Boston's gonna win. I think Boston gonna take it all this year.
Okay.
Just cause I feel like Drew Holiday and the Boston guards can maybe disrupt Kyrie and Luka. And if you disrupt one of them, then it's kind of over.
Gonna be over.
They both got to be clicking.
Right.
But I think it is possible that they both clicking. And, yeah, but also the Celtics like length, they big. Yeah. I think the Celtics gonna get it.
Okay. So I want to ask you who is the best player that you faced in high school? The best player that you went up against? You can do
my freshman year. We played against Julian Roper. He went to Northwestern out of high school, and he's at Notre Dame now, and he was really good. Who else we played? We played Kareem Rozier. That was tough. But I'd say probably Julian Roper. That was like one guy I looked at. He was just athletically. His skill was just like anybody's, but athletically he was just so much far ahead. So
how tall is he?
I think he's like 6'4".
Okay.
But like, yeah, that's like my freshman year. That was like an eye opener. Like he stole a pass from me and went and dunked it. I was like, whoa, that guy's pretty good.
You're like, welcome to high school.
Yeah. So that was yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do really quick. We're gonna do a draft. Okay, so we're gonna do high school. So you're gonna pick 5. I'm gonna pick 5. Your starting 5 by position, point guard or center.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick mine. I didn't prepare for it. I'm just gonna freestyle it. I'm gonna let you go first. You included. All Michigan players are included in it. So tell me who would be. Let's alternate. You go first, and then I'll go. And tell me why. You picking a player that you're gonna pick.
Well, at the one, I'll pick me.
Okay.
It's me. I gotta have me on my team. But I feel like I'm pretty all around. I can get hot. I can, get others involved. So
okay.
Yeah, I pick me at the
okay,
one.
So I'm gonna go. Since you at the 1, there's so many good point guards. It's crazy. Man, I'm gonna go Cheeks. I'm gonna go Darius Acuff matched up against you at the 1. That'll be a crazy matchup. So he can do it all. He can shoot. He can control the pace. He can facilitate everything. So I got Cheeks for my point guard.
Yeah.
You don't have to go in order though. You can pick
at
whatever position you want.
Where'd I go? I probably go. I'll go. My second pick. I'll go Keyshawn.
Okay.
Keyshawn. He can do everything. He play defense.
Yeah.
He can be big. He can be a guard. He can do everything. So I'll go Keyshawn.
I was hoping you didn't pick him because I wanted to get him. But I'm gonna go Trey. He can. I don't even have to say nothing. He can do it all. He can score. He's strong. He can defend. So I got Trey. So you and Keyshawn and Cheeks and Trey. That's crazy right there. So who your third?
My third. I'll go Mac from Ann Arbor Huron. He going to Iowa State. He like that. Yeah. I go Mac. Yeah.
Dang, okay. I'm gonna go for the center. I'm gonna go Mo Hop for my center. Do it all. He's going to Central Michigan. He can defend. He can dunk on you. He can shoot it. He can do it all. So I'm going with him for my center. So you got Mac, and Keyshawn. Got 2 more.
Let's see. For my 5, I'm gonna go. I'll probably go. Oh, I'll go Xander. I go Xander for my 5 from UPrep. Yeah, I go Xander.
Okay.
Xander, super big, and he's good. He's good. He's not just big. He's good. So I go Xander.
Okay, so I got Cheeks, I got Trey, I got Mo. I want to get some more shoot. Oh, I'm gonna go Tyler Spratt out of North Farmington. He can shoot it. He can play defense. I like that he doesn't try to do something that he can't do. He play his game. So I think he would fit with my team. So I'm gonna go Tyler Spratt.
All right, my last pick. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go small. I'm gonna get Leroy from UAD. I'm gonna get Leroy from UAD. I feel like that little backcourt, him, plus Mac. I feel like
that is crazy.
That's like one of my. I watched him. I was able to go to games this year because I wasn't playing with King, so I was like, that's one of my favorite.
He one of my favorite.
And I known Leroy for a while, so seeing him like his freshman year, he was playing JV, which a lot of the top freshmen don't really do. He was playing JV, and then seeing where he at now, it's So
that's
Leroy one of them ones.
Yeah, he definitely one of them ones. So I got Tyler, I got Cheeks, I got Trey, I got Mo. Man, you went small, right? So I need to go. Man, it's tough, man. I'm gonna go Warren out of Warren D. LaSalle. I'm gonna go with
Phoenix.
With Phoenix Glassnord,
So
Mr. Clutch.
I was just training with him the other day. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Clutch, man.
Yeah,
He can knock, he can shoot, he can do everything. So I'm gonna go Phoenix. So I want y'all in the comments, make sure you debate, which team you think will win. You think it's gonna be Team Chaz or you think it's gonna be Team AJ? So we're gonna go to a segment now called Elevate Your Game. The name of the podcast is always elevating, and I'm big on, always, getting better, adding to the toolbox, perfecting your craft. So as a basketball player, we always want to get better. Mm-hmm. Just talk to me about something about your game, that you want to improve on, or if you think you have a weakness, something that you want to get better at. After you do that, then I'll give you some constructive criticism.
The biggest thing I'm working on right now is my body. I was always short when I was younger, but I was also real skinny. And so even in high school, I haven't done a whole lot of like lifting or nothing like that. I've been a little on the, skinnier side. So I've been working on my body, especially now that I'm going to college. I just started, I've been working out for a while, but I really starting to ramp it up now. And this last month I got, I've been training, lifting a little bit, but really just getting stronger, having functional strength. I don't want to get too big and not be able to move.
Right.
I got to be strong, but also be able to keep my wiggle and stuff like that I have. So I say that's the biggest thing.
I think that's a great thing. That's one thing that I would say, because I was just like you. I was skinny when I was in high school, and putting on that weight, because when you can drop 20 and 30 people, they're gonna be more aggressive on you. They're gonna be pressing up on you. So doing that, you can shoot it from anywhere on the court. You can defend at a high level, facilitate, lead. One thing that I haven't seen from you as much, I don't even know how to rate it, but I haven't seen that much from your left hand. So I would want you to, I always tell everybody, you want your left hand to be like 75% of what your right hand can do around the basket, just finishing. Because I never really worked on my left. And then once I got a little older, I could finish, do reverses, do all of that with my left. You see what Kyrie doing, so it just opens your game up. So I would tell you to do that for the constructive criticism. Okay, so before we get up out of here, we're going to play a game. It's called Quick Blitz. So I'm going to ask you about 10 questions. And I just want you to pick one as fast as possible.
All right. It's like an either or?
Yep.
All right.
So the first one is, last season, which one was, more better and fun to watch? The NCAA men or the women's?
I say the men's.
The men's, okay. Which one is better, March Madness or the NBA playoffs?
March Madness.
Who's better overall, Anthony Edwards or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
Shai.
Which league is tougher, the PSL or the Catholic?
The Catholic.
Who will win one-on-one, Paul George or Jason Tatum?
Man. I'll say Jason
Tatum?
But I don't know.
That's close, isn't it?
Yeah, that's close.
Who's better overall, Jalen Brunson or Kyrie Irving?
This season, Jalen Brunson.
Ooh, we're going to have some controversy. All right, which one is better, Steph Curry or Magic Johnson?
Steph.
Which one would you rather have, high IQ or supreme athleticism?
Oh, high IQ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's better, Anthony Edwards or Luka Doncic?
Luka.
Who's the GOAT, Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron, for sure.
LeBron the GOAT. Which one is better, AAU or high school?
High school.
Okay. Now, this is the last question. Which one is more scarier? LeBron with Steph Curry shooting ability, or Curry with Bron athleticism? Let's imagine they the same height.
I say Curry with LeBron athleticism.
Okay.
Because LeBron ain't gonna have the same wiggle Curry got.
Right.
Yeah.
Chaz Lewless, man. Appreciate you coming on the show, man. Good luck this season, man.
Appreciate you for sure. Know that.
It's your boy AJ, Mr. Automatic Jumper. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're going to be dropping every week on the Always Elevating podcast.
stay elevated.